So, if you haven't already noticed, I've actually moved to Sydney. I feel like it's been a long time coming, something I've been thinking about doing for a while, moving away from Brisbane, that is. And yeah, so I finally made the move. So it's pretty crazy. Been here since the beginning of October, so 3-4 months now. It's been a beautiful, beautiful time. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far. Been working at a clothing store part-time, just while I get settled and start my freelance photography work. It's beautiful this time of year because it's summertime, so I've been going down to the beach a bunch, exploring, meeting new people, and just having some good fun. It's definitely been a lot of work, finding a place, making sure my puppy Rami is settled, just getting into routine and finding my feet here, even though, Sydney's not too far from Brisbane, still moving cities. It's a, 10-hour drive away, so still a few things to consider. I've been feeling really inspired lately to shoot. Been shooting a lot of 35mm, medium format, and videoing as well. So I thought what better time than to reboot the YouTube channel and see if I can start making videos again. Not making any promises of the consistency or anything like that, just gonna see how I go. But feels good to be in a new space, be in new surroundings, feel more inspired to go shoot. There's so many things I'm yet to explore, excited for the months ahead, and I'm sure I'll document some of it here. So I'll see you soon. Rami, where you going? I wanted to talk about this photography book I've been enjoying recently. The name of the book is I Can Make You Feel Good, and it's by Brooklyn, New York-based photographer Tyler Mitchell. Part of what drew me to this book is Tyler's use of different photography mediums to convey his message, a crossover between documentary, portraiture, fashion photography, art photography, and filmmaking. All mediums I find myself interested in too. Tyler Mitchell grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. He first got into image making by filming skateboarding, which is what later brought him to New York to pursue a career in film. It wasn't until he was in New York where he pivoted into more photography and art. An excerpt of where Tyler describes the book, it reads, "I aim to visualize what a black utopia looks like or could look like. People say utopia is never achievable, but I love photography's possibility of allowing me to dream and make that dream become very real." Another excerpt of the book I really enjoyed reading was when he talked about his process. He says, "Documented and real, or fictitious and staged, my images are characterized by an interest, purity, and intimacy. In them, models recline, embrace each other closely, and peer into the lens, leaving evidence of a public display of affirmation in blackness and a unifying visual text of hope." I find it incredibly fascinating the way Tyler describes his photo making process and his images. There is a distinct approach to how he makes his work, which transcends into how the images make you feel. It feels like each image gives you a small window into a bigger story unfolding. I love this idea of having an overarching approach or style when it comes to shooting across different work. Sometimes I feel maybe a lot of us do it unintentionally, The combination of colors in each image really adds warmth and an angelic tone. He's not afraid of using strong color backdrops and clothing pieces to add contrast and depth. In an era of muted tones, it's really nice to see vivid colors being used. You can tell the clothing is very carefully curated, while not being too distracting to the images as well. There seems to be a lot of motion in these images too. Fashion shoots can often sometimes feel static. It's like he's using elements of street photography or filmmaking to make his images feel more free moving. I feel this leads to more emotion being captured, as oftentimes it's those in between moments that feel more authentic. In a video piece I found on YouTube, he describes this as telling his subjects to play, to find an engaging shape, a sense of discovery, and opening moments for them to create their own scene. One final thing, I love how his locations he uses feel very everyday and not overproduced, often being outside in nature or with a simple sheet backdrop. It adds to this kind of cinematic coming of age feel. A lot of people talk about storytelling in imagery. Sometimes I feel like it gets thrown around a lot, but there's very few that execute it so well as Tyler. A great book I will be drawing inspiration from, and I'm excited to see what he captures in the future.